Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a story like this: rare coins, hidden treasures, and the untold history behind the currency that passed through millions of hands, maybe even your own. Now, let's step back in time to the year 1966 and talk about a coin that's turning heads today for all the right reasons. You may have seen one of these before, maybe tucked away in a drawer, forgotten at the bottom of an old tin, or passed to you in change decades ago. But what if I told you this 1966 50-cent coin from South Africa could be worth more than a brand new luxury car? In fact, one specific piece is now valued at a staggering $150,000. Let's unpack why. The year 1966 marked a new chapter for South Africa politically, economically, and numismatically. This was just a few years after the Republic of South Africa broke away from the British Commonwealth. With the new republic came new coin designs, national pride, and symbolism. The 50-cent coin from that year wasn't just a piece of metal used to buy bread or a newspaper, it was a message. A symbol. A moment frozen in time. This particular coin was struck in silver, not the copper nickel you'll find in later years. It carries the image of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch settler credited with establishing Cape Town in the 1600s, on one side. His serious face, etched into the coin, tells a story of colonial ambition, of harsh voyages across oceans, of new lands and uncertain futures. The reverse features the majestic South African coat of arms, bordered by the inscription Suid-Afrika, South Africa, and the date 1966. It's clean, bold, and dignified. And for those who appreciate fine minting, the craftsmanship of that era, before the full swing of modern mass production, gives it a subtle touch of old-world character. Now, you might be wondering, I've seen coins like this before. What makes one worth a small fortune? Here's where the story turns from history to treasure hunt. Most of the 50-cent coins from 1966 were circulated. They were used. They have scratches, wear, and marks that come from everyday life, being dropped, stacked, passed from one hand to another. But a very few, were never meant for circulation. These were the proof coins, the mint state coins, struck with extra care and preserved in pristine condition. And those, my friend, are where the value lies. You see, collectors around the world are in search of these near-perfect pieces. Coins with no scratches, no blemishes, no signs of life outside a velvet case. Coins graded at the highest possible levels by professional appraisers. And for the 1966 South African 50 cents, those high-grade examples are incredibly rare. So rare, in fact, that when one recently surfaced in flawless condition, the bidding went through the roof. But it's not just about condition. It's about rarity. It's about timing. It's about the growing international market for rare coins, and that market is hotter now than ever. With more collectors entering the game, especially from the US, Europe, and Asia, coins like this are no longer just regional curiosities, they're global assets. And South African coins, especially silver coins from the 1960s, are in high demand. Many were melted down over the years for their silver content, especially during economic downturns. So the original mintage numbers? They've dropped dramatically in reality. What may have started as thousands is now just a handful of top-grade survivors. There's also something emotional about holding a piece of history in your hand. A coin that outlived decades, maybe a war, maybe a family legacy. Some remember being children in the 60s and watching their fathers take out these coins to buy groceries or fill a tank of gas. And now, that same coin might be resting in a collector's vault, guarded like a piece of art. Many collectors today are not just hobbyists, they are investors. And when investment meets nostalgia, value skyrockets. That's why this particular coin, the 50 cents from 1966, has become more than a coin. It's a conversation piece, a showpiece, a legacy item. Now think for a moment, how many of us have old coins lying around, stored in forgotten boxes, passed down from grandparents or kept in drawers that haven't been opened in years? Could you be holding something of value without even knowing it? That's why it pays to look. And look closely. Not all 1966 coins are worth a fortune, of course. Most are worth just a few dollars, even in decent shape. But if you happen to find one in exceptional condition, no scratches, sharp details, perfect shine, or better yet, one that's been graded by a professional and kept in mint packaging, then you may be holding a piece of numismatic gold. And here's the real kicker. One of these coins, in pristine, professionally graded condition, recently stunned collectors by reaching an auction value of $150,000. Yes, $150,000. For a 50-cent coin. That's not just luck. That's history, rarity, and timing all coming together in one gleaming silver disc. So next time you're sorting through that old tin of coins, or cleaning out a drawer in your late uncle's garage, don't rush. Take your time. Look at the details. Look at the date. And remember this story. Because buried in those piles of forgotten change may be a fortune waiting to be discovered, and a story waiting to be told. And if you enjoy stories like this, true stories, valuable stories, stories that make you look at the everyday world with a little more curiosity, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. There's plenty more where this came from.